All right, and welcome. Let's go ahead and get our brains turned on and go ahead and start the show. So, today I want to ask you a big question. Are humans part of the energy cycle in an ecosystem, or are we kind of messing it up? Now, don't worry. This isn't a humans are the worst kind of lesson. You're not in trouble just for existing. But we do need to talk about the way that our actions change how energy and matter flow through ecosystems. Let's do a quick review real quick. In a healthy ecosystem, you've got your producers, your plants, your algae, your little phytoplankton floating around. They take up sunlight, and then they turn it into energy through photosynthesis. And that gets passed on to us as herbivores, then to predators, and eventually everything gets recycled by decomposers, like bacteria and fungi. But humans, we kind of do things a little differently. So section 1, we're going to talk about this. Let's start with producers. Plants are the entry point as energy in almost every ecosystem, at least land in the ecosystem. They take up the sun's energy and turn it into food that makes everything else move and are able to do things. So, we've already asked this a few times, but I'm going to ask it again. What happens when there are fewer producers? Well, let's say humans come through and clear out a bunch of trees or grass. That's called deforestation. And we do it a lot, although we do it much less than we used to. If we remove too many producers, what's the effect? What happens to the energy entering the food web if there are fewer plants? Pause here and answer that. Well, exactly. It's like less energy entering the system. And if there's less energy at the bottom of our our energy pyramid, had a brain fart there. If there's less energy at the bottom of our energy pyramid, then what does that mean for the top? Well, it means some not great things. It means that there's less energy to move up through the herbivores, through the omnivores, and carnivores. And that's a big deal. Fewer plants leads to fewer herbivores, to fewer predators. That's like turning off the faucet at the top of the water slide and expecting the pool to stay full. It's not going to happen. So, how do we slow the recycling process down? Well, now let's move on to the end of the cycle. Decomposers. These guys are like nature's cleanup crew. Bacteria, fungi, worms. They all break down dead stuff and turn it back into nutrients for the soil. But what happens if humans hurt decomposers? Let's say we dump waste in soil or add too many harmful chemicals. That's called pollution. If decomposers can't do their job, nutrients don't get returned to the soil, and the next generation of plants will struggle to grow. Now I want you to pause it here and answer this question. What would happen to a garden if there were no nutrients ever to get recycled back into the dirt? Well, yeah, the plants would eventually wither. No nutrients equals no new producers. No energy flow. So decomposers aren't just nice to have, they are very essential. We have to have them to keep the system going. Now let's talk about ecosystem balance. In a balanced ecosystem, everything has a role. Predators, prey, plants, decomposers, energy and matter flow in cycles. When humans enter the picture, we sometimes take too much of one thing or add too much of something else. It's not always that we're taking it. We might be adding too much. For example, when we fish, more than the population can handle, that's called overfishing. And it throws off the predatory-prey relationship. Or when we build cities in places that used to be forests. We take away homes for animals and reduce the space available for plants and other organisms to survive. Now, I want you to pause it here and answer this. If one part of the system is removed or reduced, what happens to the rest of the system? Well, it's going to ripple. It's going to have this rippling effect that constantly moves in and out and changes things. Predators will lose prey, plants will lose pollinators, and the whole system can start to shift. Ecosystems are interconnected. They're not just a bunch of separate pieces. They're all in this spider web. Pull one thread too hard and the rest can unravel. Everybody's seen the old cartoon version of something where a woman grabs onto a thread and then whoever has the sweater on or something just unravels to where they don't even have a shirt on anymore. Well, that's kind of like ecosystems. Now, here's the deal. Are humans part of the ecosystem's energy and matter cycle, or are we disrupting it? Well, honestly, I'm not one that's going to tell you we're all wrong, but it depends. We can be part of it. Humans can plant more trees than we cut. We can recycle nutrients through composting. We can protect decomposers by reducing pollution. We can fish responsibly and protect predator and prey relationships. We can choose to live in a way that fits into the system. As a matter of fact, now there are more laws than ever, so we can fit in neatly to the system. And as a matter of fact, if you're human, give yourself a pat on the back because you have been doing this a lot better. But a lot better is not perfect. Obviously, I don't expect us to be perfect. We do have somewhere we have to live, right? You have to have a home. But there's a balance. When we take too much or pollute too much or remove too much, we aren't following the cycle, we're breaking it. So I want you to pause right here and think about your daily life. What's one way that humans could be a part of the energy cycle and one way that we could be disrupting it? This could be you, someone you know. Do not say who it is. I'm not asking you to out them, but I do want you guys to tell me, how are some ways that we can fix this? How are some ways that we are doing good? This is why scientists study ecosystems, to find patterns, to understand how things are connected, and to help make humans make better choices. Final wrap up. Let's talk about this. Let's end with big vocabulary words for today. So, you're going to say them with me. The first one, let me find my black pen here. The first one is human impact. Human impact. Now, human impact is the ways that humans affect ecosystems. The way humans affect ecosystems. Let me move you out just a little bit. Ignore the 6, 7. I know you're not going to, but try your hardest. Let's move out just a little bit. Oh my goodness. Come on, move out just a little bit. Okay. So, human impact is the ways humans affect ecosystems. Then we have deforestation. I think it's 2 F's. It's just 1 F. I'm an idiot. Ignore that. Deforestation. And deforestation is removing large areas of forest. removing large areas of forest. Then we have, and you should know this one, but pollution. Tell you what, I'm gonna make you guys stay. We'll move over just a little bit right here. You'll stick right there for me. You guys just write these on the board. Then we have pollution, and pollution is adding harmful substances to the environment. Adding harmful substances to, we'll just say, an ecosystem. And then finally, we have ecosystem balance. An ecosystem balance kind of works in, it's a state where energy and matter flow through a system smoothly. Ecosystem balance keeps ecosystems running smoothly. Keeps ecosystems running smoothly. So the next time someone says it's just one tree or it's just one plastic bag, think about this lesson. One small change can have a big impact when the system is already stretched. Sure, one plastic bag wouldn't totally ruin an ecosystem, but if everyone were to think that, every ecosystem would get ruined. So, let's be the kind of humans that fit into the system, not just the ones that break it. Let's get into the lesson today. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Big shout out to OBS ObsBot for sponsoring our channel. This little camera is awesome. It follows you around like it's got eyes and makes everything we do look super clear and cool. We get to make fun videos for you because of them. So thanks, ObsBot. A huge thank you to Bridgestone for sponsoring our channel. You probably know them because they make super strong tires that help cars, trucks, and even race cars zoom around safely. Tires might not seem exciting, but without them, we couldn't get to school, go on road trips, or even visit our favorite places. Thanks to Bridgestone, we get to keep making these awesome videos for you. So big thanks, Bridgestone.